What is up, guys? I am the Dark Prince, and it's been so long since I've posted, but you can see I'm a decent player at Clash Royale, pretty decent player, and I think right now I'm gonna go over how to build a deck right now in the game. And personally, I think the best thing you can start out with is obviously a win condition, something that will get you consistent damage, such as a mortar, a skeleton barrel, anything for consistent damage. One of the best ones in the game right now is actually the Hog Rider, because it does so much damage. And Electro Giant, very strong right now. Royal Pigs are only good in very certain decks, but if you go ahead and look at the leaderboards right now, you can see Battle Ram used up there, Goblin Drill, always solid. Lava Hound Balloon, just kind of a classic combo. You do have this Pigs variation. I've never personally tried, but top 5 in the world, so it can't be that bad. Another drill deck. You got Wall Breakers. So there's a lot of good ones to choose from. For today, for an example, I'll just go with the Hog Rider. Really safe win condition to choose if you're just looking for something. Next, you're going to want to add, in my opinion, you need one big spell, one small spell. My favorite big spell is Fireball, because it's just a really solid spell. It does good damage, not too expensive. And then Log, because it can take care of a lot of stuff. The knockback, incredible on defense. And you can already see this is starting to look like Hog 2.6, which is one of the best decks in the game. Very annoying, and it's just amazing defensively. Then, of course, you're going to need at least one solid air card, like the Firecracker. In my opinion, I like having 2 air cards, but there's a lot of decks that run 1 air card, and then a card like Royal Delivery or Snowball or something like that that can hit air, but isn't necessarily meant to target air. So you see now this is starting to look like Hog Earthquake. Now you're going to want a mini tank in the decks, something that can deal with swarms or Mega Knights or anything in between, like Valkyrie, amazing mini tank. You got the Knight, Battle Healer. Like, there's a lot of good mini tanks in this game. Royal Ghost, my personal favorite, without a doubt, is obviously the Dark Prince. I'll put him in here. And obviously, after you have your mini tank, something that can really do good, just great card defensively, you're going to need like a tank killer, something that can deal with the big ones, like a P.E.K.K.A, something that can deal with P.E.K.K.As, Golems, Electro Giant, which is a very strong card in this game. In my opinion, Hunter is a great choice, can deal a lot of damage, can help with air. It's just an all-around great card. You're going to want to throw in something cycly, like Fire Spirit, good for damage, can just do a lot of, it's a very versatile card. And you can always add one more of everything, so if you feel like you need a double win condition deck, you can throw in like a Skeleton Barrel. Maybe if you need more solid defense, you can throw in a building like Goblin Cage, Tesla. If you're struggling against something like a Log Bait, you can throw in even another spell, so you could run like a Log, Zap, and Fireball. This deck right here that I have really is good against air, because Firecracker deals with swarms well. Hunter can take out all the big air cards. It's a really pretty good synergy there. Obviously, there's champions that you can use. Skeleton King would not fit well in this deck. Archer Queen is just kind of all around. If you're going to have Archer Queen, though, there's really no reason to have either the Hunter or Firecracker, because you don't need them. And then Golden Knight, it could fit into this deck pretty well, It would be similar to the Dark Prince in terms of just being a mini tank. And then there's Mighty Miner, which is a tank killer. Personally, I think Mighty Miner is terrible. I think it's such a bad card. But I would personally, I think I'm either going to go with a Swarm or something a little bit even cheaper that can cycle well, like Skeletons. So you got 2.9 Hog Rider. It's a pretty solid deck. You can go mix around all of this stuff. You can go for different archetypes. Like if you want to run beat down, you get a big tank like a giant or a golem or an electro giant, elixir golem even. And then you can pair that with cards that go really well behind that when they're not getting hit are really useful, like night witches, bombers, baby dragons. A lot of cards that do really well as support cards, or obviously giant with graveyard, great combo, can really do a lot of damage. That's one of those double win condition decks. There's Mortar Bait, which has Mortar and Skeleton Barrel sometimes. Log Bait has Rocket and Goblin Barrel, or Skeleton Barrel, Goblin Barrel, and really solid deck there. But I think this should be a pretty good basis to build a deck if you want to, just to make something your own. Of course, if you're ever just looking for a new deck, you can always just go to leaderboards. And, you know, they're kind of top in the game. They should know some good stuff like this. You see, you got Miner with a lot of bait. So once they use their log or arrows, you can go Miner Bats aggressively if you need to. Skeleton King, great synergy in this deck with how much Swarm. Going to get so many souls. Then you got the Mortar as a win condition, dealing solid damage. You got this. It's got Royal Hogs, very strong win condition when used right. This, it's a Goblin Drill deck, really good win condition. This deck, yet again, that's a really popular one. See, this kind of an unorthodox beatdown-esque deck. You get the pump, you build up so much elixir. You can play, you know, that E-Golem with Night Witch and Zappies. They all are going to stack up really well. The arrows can help a lot with support there. Barbs are really good on defense. And then you got, you know, Expo. It's got good air defense, 2 good win conditions with Rocket and Expo. And then, you know, mini tank, cycle cards, 2 spells. Pretty much covers a lot of what I was talking about here. Muhammad Light, widely considered one of the best players in the game. He's got, you know, 2 mini tanks that can do really good. You know, one of them can pull the King Tower, activate all that stuff. 2 cards of air defense. He's got a cycle card with Electro Spirit, the 2 spells, and then he's got a win condition. This is a really solid deck, obviously, with Muhammad Light. And then, yeah, if you just look through all of this, you'll see a lot of decks with my similar kind of philosophy. This one, bit of an off-meta pick with the P.E.K.K.A. Graveyard Freeze, but you do technically have the 2 spells, but only one of them is really an actual spell. You still have 1 cycle card. This one's a bit more on the expensive side compared to what I made with this 2.9. And that should be a pretty good guide on how to build a deck. So, see ya.